My son was really poisoned, and the British board took his license. From cops being called, SWAT saying we kidnapping kids in the middle of the night, guns to our head, tires getting slashed. Why would I want to go back into that atmosphere and then put myself in Saudi Arabia?
It's astounding to me. These guys get on here and they talk like they're really doing something in the sport. You beat a guy like Tevin Farmer. Tevin Farmer, who was a career loser. We don't know Tevin Farmer for boxing dudes' nose off. We don't know Tevin Farmer for going there and stopping guys, right? But you got this Tevin Farmer win, and now you think you a multi-million-dollar fighter. You're not. And what I'm telling y'all is this. These guys are burning bridges that they still got to cross. Now, how we going to see you fight a Shakur or Abdullah Mason now, right? When you talking yourself out of a fight with them by disrespecting the guy that they working with. And what I want y'all to understand also is that this here, right? It's important to market yourself appropriately. Marketing yourself like that, nowadays, that don't work because everybody can pull up receipts, right? So you mean to tell me you went over there to Saudi Arabia, everybody done been over there, rappers, basketball players, and they singled you out and wanted to poison you. Why they want to poison you when Floyd Schofield ain't even a guy in the sport that really command attention for real? And like I said before, it's important to always, it don't matter what you do, McDonald's, working at Walmart, it's always important to make sure that you're professional, right? Schofield Sr. hasn't taught his son to be professional. Every time it's time to go to work at 4 p.m. every day, what he do? 10 minutes before calling out. That's not how you maintain longevity in nothing, especially in the sport of boxing. Father-son duo where the father ruined his child's career before it gets started. And it's sad to see. It's entertaining, but it's sad to see because, Schofield Jr. is young. He got a lot of potential. He got a lot of life ahead of him. And unfortunately, Senior living through his son, it might be the downfall of his son's career long term. What's happening now in the sport of boxing is these guys misappropriating the term their own boss. First and foremost, you not a boss if you waiting for somebody else to give you a check, set up the event. We seen that with Floyd. When Floyd was trying to get the Pacquiao fight, he was saying, man, I can wire you your purse tomorrow. I could send you the rest of your bread this day. And he was taking care of the event, making it a show, making it entertaining. And what I'm telling y'all is this here, you're not a boss as an independent contractor. Why? Because you're looking for others to give you the work. A boss make their own work. You know what I'm saying? And what I'm telling y'all is this here, this boss term in boxing is kind of really messing up the sport because it's making guys who ain't did nothing in the sport big-headed. What do Floyd Schofield Jr. got to be big-headed about? Tevin Farmer, he's never beaten an undefeated fighter. And what I'm telling y'all is this, we may never see him beat an undefeated fighter because he's a poor man, Sean Porter. He come into the ring with no skills. Unfortunately, you need skills to beat a lot of guys at a top level, right? Calling out Abdullah Mason, calling out Shakur Stevenson. Why not fight an undefeated fighter first? You haven't fought an undefeated fighter before. You fought one time in 2025. You're not that hot of a commodity to fight once a year, right? You're not as active as these other guys. And what I'm telling y'all is this here, right? Y'all got to get on here and promote these guys being more active, proving themselves in the sport. You can't just run with a narrative that these guys getting on other platforms talking about. Everybody know in the sport that boxing is a what have you done for me lately kind of sport. What he's done for the fans lately, right, is fight guys who aren't proven, fight guys with a lot of losses. And what he's done is what he's supposed to do with those guys. But in some of those fights, he's having a hard time. So what he got to do is go to the drawing board while these guys not having no fights lined up and work on his craft and get better at his craft. But he will never be the elite boxer. Why? Because he walked in quicksand. High guard, bunch of looping punches. You got to have skills to beat guys at a top level. And Senior not promoting Junior to get them skills in check is going to be a disservice for him in his career long term because guys ain't doing nothing but perfecting their craft and getting better.